Yo, what's going on? Bitcoin Brandon here. I am with special guest Koil. What's up, dude?
Woo! It's a Wednesday, right? How are we doing? Happy hump day.
It
I'm doing
is.
well.
It is Wednesday. Good. It is a hump day. We're moving along. We're getting through the week. It's freaking. It just snowed here today. What's the weather like in California?
That's crazy. I mean, yesterday wasn't beautiful. It was, we had our first rain of the year this weekend. Pretty dark day in general for sunny California. But overall, it's been a great week. The Venture Accelerator is starting up. We got a lot of energy inside, no matter what the weather is. So we're
Yeah.
feeling good.
Yeah. Well, you just touched on that. We're going to talk about that later, but let's just bring it up.
Yeah,
Accelerator.
yeah. I mean, so we condensed the start of the program because it was supposed to start a couple days, weeks ago. But they are doing 3 sessions this week alone, and they're about 8-hour sessions. And the cohort, fantastic, like 40 entrepreneurs or so throughout LA, some affiliated with UCLA, but building across the map. There's actually two in kind of fintech, but mostly serving the unbanked, which is really interesting for me to kind of have conversations with those people. And then overall, they brought through, I mean, they do kind of hour-long sessions on various topics, within your business. Today was all about marketing, customer lifetime value, et cetera. And for solopreneur, building this business on my own and not the most experienced entrepreneur, I'm really appreciating the visibility to, everything that I have to kind of make sure I cover in the business. So
Yeah.
excited to have some progress to show in the coming weeks. I think S3 is definitely my deadline, for getting some public facing material to everybody.
Okay.
Um, and so more to come.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, let's just jump right into coil breaks. What's new? What are some key dates that pack stackers should be aware of?
That's a great question. I mean, a lot of it's going to be tied to the release of S3 about, when I get the shipment. I have, many of you will know and come to find out, the whale on the way. So we got 21 boxes of Series 3 that are
Woo,
all dedicated. Maybe I'll rip one, I'll rip one, I'll set one aside. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But
woo.
probably 21. This is for, right, coil breaks, just to remind everybody. I see from in the sports card and trading card world, there's different ways to collect, and buying a box sometimes isn't always the most economical, best financial decision for chasing the cards that you personally care about. And so I'm really excited with S3 specifically to be able to break down both the rarities and the ability for you to chase, different parallel colors, whatever that you're particularly interested in, but also not just the rarities. We're going to do breaks in a different way on multiple different platforms. S2, you could imagine, is kind of the MVP of what coil breaks is building out in the long term. And S3, hopefully, you guys will feel it as well, is going to experience a big jump. So we're going to start in February. It'll probably be announcing here next week, kind of the plan for February. So keep an eye on the chat for that.
Very cool. Very cool. Excited to see the different types of breaks. Excited to see maybe break slots for parallels. Lots of cool things that can be done now. So very
Yeah.
cool, dude.
And anybody watching, I take the input from my community very personally and seriously for the business. So anything that you guys want to see or experience, I want to help create and be a part of. So would love to hear comments either in the chat or on YouTube, wherever this gets posted.
Very cool. Very cool. Good to hear. Um, Actually, today, switching subjects in Telegram on the main chat, we started talking about grading, started talking about PSA and tag and some of the differences there. And maybe I've voiced my opinion there on the Telegram. Maybe you can
Yeah.
tell us what you think, because you're a Bitcoiner and you're
Yeah.
actually been in the card hobby for a while. So tell us a little bit about those differences.
Yeah. I mean, I'd been in trading cards since I was 5. So 12 or 20 years now. I didn't start grading my cards until 2020, and I did all with PSA. Um, and it was a cash cow for them. I'll tell you that. I
Hmm.
did not get back very good grades because I didn't really know what I was doing. But um, fortunately you live and learn. But for me, I mean, and this is going to be popular opinion of people in the community, is that PSA, longest standing in terms of just status quo, this is going to be your best bet for long-term value when grading cards, right? And I appreciate that perspective. I appreciate what PSA has done for the hobby and what they're trying to do, making it more innovative with, greater notes. If you pay $75, that minimum tier, you'll get some notes about, why your grade is the way it is. And there's some small things. Obviously, they have network effect, right? So more people grade their cards with, PSA, as far as I'm aware, than anybody else. And therefore you have a bigger, market for people to buy from you with, right? Moving on to tag, right? As a Bitcoiner, I am always open to appreciating new and potentially disruptive products, right? And I think tag is one of those, right? And we'll just hold these up. So just comparing kind of the two. And I mean, I don't know. You could say the red and white label is super classic, which it is, but this one is just so much more modern. It's so much more crisp. It's clear, right? And that's just the visual presence of the card, which a lot of people, care about. Right. I have SGC here, which is that tuxedo slab, as people say, the black and white. And so people do care about what the case looks like. But let's be honest, I care about transparency. I'm a Bitcoiner. I want to understand as much information when I'm making decisions about my personal collection or just trading cards in general as I can. PSA, they tell you a grade. You don't always know why, especially if you don't pay for it. Tag, they not only give you the grade, they can give you a score down to, 1/1000th of a, point. And they give you just so much detail that I'll be happy to do. We could do another video just on tag and going down into the rabbit hole of the value that they provide to the customer. But as somebody that appreciates, attention to detail, tag wins. And it'll be a very interesting, next, it'll probably be a decade, I'm sure, right? Battle between all these companies, PSA buying SGC, or collectors, right? Universe buying SGC. Who's going to win that market? Is it going to be the people that provide the best technology and the best product, or is it going to be, name brand, long-standing history?
Reminiscent of, I mentioned how it feels a bit like fiat. Like we've been doing this is the way, and this is just the standard. And then, along comes tag with this just amazing new way of transparency, and it looks better. And so it's going to be very interesting how that plays out. I know this is a very big topic. I just wanted to touch on your opinion there. So
yeah, and I'll just add one more supporting, or help people understand my mindset better, which is sometimes you go through life and you experience something and you say this isn't right. This could be done better. And I think it was pretty clear before tag came along that grading was not a perfect experience for the customer or the market, right? And if you feel that, there's an opportunity, and I feel like tag took advantage of that opportunity. They've been working on the company for many more years than they've been kind of relevant in the hobby. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate people that build that. So
I appreciate that too. Just seeing a need and filling it. And we need to do a big special on that some other time.
Yeah.
You mentioned you had a couple sales. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. I had, I guess some overseas friends have found out I'm a friendly shipper. I don't know if it's friendly shipper is what it is, but I got inventory they're happy to acquire. And fortunately, that's meant me able to help out, some people building out their collections. Had some friends in Germany buy across multiple different sets. So they were kind of diving into S2 box toppers. And overall, it was very fair market value. Pretty much if everybody's, kind of on eBay sometimes, I pretty much listed all the inventory that I have on there for
Okay.
what feels like what I would say is kind of about the price that I would typically sell at.
Yeah.
And so, if you're curious about where I stand on market pricing, or at least where I would price, my goods, of course, you can check out the eBay. And I think in general, the market is excited to continue to collect. S3 is going to
Cool.
come out. There's going to be more momentum. And so that was one sale. It was a bit of SOS, a bit of Hoop.
Okay.
And then there was another one that was just on, I don't know if I talked about it last time, but just the Mir ones. They bought like 5 Mir
Yeah,
one.
you mentioned that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did talk about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's cool.
just one.
That's neat to see people like dive into a particular artist, like maybe World of Rusty or Bitco or something like that. That's fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you
do
have any transactions recently that you've seen on eBay or otherwise?
mm, nothing that I haven't done any sales. I've got some stuff on SatStash. It's been
Yeah.
pretty stagnant. Maybe it's time to go back up there and take a look at those prices and mark them down. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just here on this pivotal moment when we get S3 going. So
Hmm.
um, I'm waiting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Take a quick, before we get into the good stuff, take a quick moment about Reddit. Tell us about that.
Oh, okay. So, we started, I guess I got a hold of the Bitcoin trading cards Reddit. So it's r/Bitcoin trading cards. Um, and that was many months ago now. But last year, we set out to kind of build out that community, cardsmiths, our friendly foe, our yeah, friendly foe in the hobby. They really built their community off of Reddit, and so that had to do with GameStop and just the general community that's on the platform. Um, Hoping to continue to spur up conversation on Reddit. I think it serves a great purpose to our community to be able to post hits, S3 things that you're looking to trade,
Yeah.
you know, um,
Yeah.
anything of the sort. So one of my goals over the next, over February is going to be to communicate kind of all of our channels, maybe, right, get some transparency or awareness, just general awareness over which community members are engaging on
Hmm.
what platforms and what conversations are kind of taking place,
Yeah.
how they can be used, because I think that would be valuable
I
to
think
the
it is
general.
valuable. I talked with Jordy last about the Facebook group and having these different platforms, starting to reach out and, each platform is different and each one of them uh, is better suited for different types of communication, different types of media, different types of sharing. So, and people are just in different sectors. They're on different social medias. And so a lot of times people don't want to jump into another one.
Yep.
I really don't like to spend too much time in Facebook, but there's a big hobby community over there that I'd like to really kind of tap into and just kind of see what's going on over there more. So, um, yeah, I think it's going to be really cool to grow both of those as well as anything else that seems to be popular and growing. So,
And to that point, if it hurts your head about adding another platform to your, day or your week of Bitcoin trading cards, community engagement, you know, as you said, Brandon, right? There's going to be people on different platforms. You don't have to be, on every one. We appreciate you where you're at. So just trying to grow touch points with, different parts of new and existing community members.
very true. Great. So here we go. We've got some villains.
Wow.
This is the theme: is warriors versus villains for Series 3. So I've got this card map here. Let me know if you need me to adjust it a little bit, but we've got some big heavy hitters. I'm really excited about this category. You've got the World Health Organization, some really cool art. Symbolism is everywhere in this card and some of these other cards. You got the WEF, you've got the IMF, International Monetary Fund.
Yep.
You've got MIC, Big Pharma, CIC, and Economic Hitman and Scammers. Which one is catching your eye? Which one should we talk about?
I love, what is that? What is the economic mayhem?
Economic Hitman.
Hitman. Yeah, I mean, that art is pretty sick. And I think that is giving me a little bit of curiosity. I'm not quite. That's a title I'm not quite sure of.
Yeah, there is a book, and that's also a base card that we have here in Series 3, is The Economic Hitman. So that is a
Very nice.
book that's written a few years ago, talks about government people doing nefarious things. So, um, but yeah,
I mean, uh,
no,
the
I
art.
think my favorite out of this, there's a favorite concept and favorite art. Like one of the
Yeah.
things that really needs to be talked about is big pharma. That's a huge thing that people need to open their eyes to. So I'm really loving this topic and this creepy looking art. This skeleton doctor concocting. Oh my gosh, there's so much in here.
I know he's kind of a fiat eyes.
Yeah, he's got the fiat eyes. You're right. Um, it's just like S2 and even S1. A lot of these cards have so much hidden symbolism and
Yep.
representation of bigger things. And you've got the military industrial complex over here. We've seen this one, but
I
you know,
love that card.
zooming in, it you can see that there's a lot of stuff happening. Um, like I said,
And this is, if you're not familiar with these organizations, I don't think, they don't always get talked about. Obviously, Bitcoiners are pretty aware, but imagine getting this card, even the base card, you open a pack and you get that,
yeah,
right? That's gonna make somebody, right? You could say the art a little aggressive. For me, I love it because it pulls you in. It's not overly, harsh on the eye, right? It's very it's very curious, right? It makes you want to flip it over because
it
the art has
is.
created a story, and you got to find out the rest of it,
You got
or
to
the
find
deep.
out the rest of it. Here's the CIC, the Censorship Industrial Complex. It's basically a phone here. I think it's actually a Google phone. And you've got some apps, government, the nanny state, and the social credit score. I mean, that means a lot. That is very symbolic and just, man, these cards, to say the least, are super based. And then we have a horizontal um, scammers card here.
That's fun. It's
There's a
snake
lot of
oil, or
stuff in here. Yeah, there's like a snake oil guy, and you could take a lot longer to dig into that
yeah,
one.
digest those. Yeah.
Um, so that is the cards for the villains of Series 3. These are out of 500. Scrolling up, we're going to talk about our
Uh,
warriors. So this is the full page of the warriors. These guys are also out of 500. So I believe there's only one recurring warrior. That title goes to Mr. Michael Saylor. This card's freaking cool looking, dude.
yeah.
Just the lightning, and yeah, it's pretty fantastic. Got some other Bitcoin warriors here. You've got Knut over here, and he is ripped. Like a 21 belt buckle. And we've got Preston Pish.
I'm surprised Preston didn't get made as a jacked. I mean, he's a guardian angel. I don't know what that entirely is, but um, Aladdin could have gone crazy with that one too.
Could have gone crazy. You got the
Yeah.
Sailor, and then you've got Jeff Booth with the horizontal card. He's got his book Price of Tomorrow in the background. He's got a trident with the Bitcoin symbol. Lots of fiat floating around. Pretty sweet. Going down to the bottom row, you've got James Lavish. We've seen him
Yeah.
before with the 007 kind of a Bond look. The Bitcoin tie. Bitcoin helicopter.
I love the Simply Bitcoin card.
Here, look at these guys.
Yeah.
What is this modeled after?
Isn't that
So
it's
this
not
is a movie poster, Lethal Weapon.
Leaf that. Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
It looks really cool. You've got Miss Bitcoin, also known as Miss El Salvador. She's got the glowing energy fists, ready to
very well deserved card.
ready to beat down the villains. And Rookie of the Year 2024 favorites, Ella Huff. You have a connection to her, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin Students Network, Ella Huff has been just an incredible champion for Bitcoin education amongst, of course, college students, but general youth. And we're working together on a handful of things, both with the Bitcoin conference coming up, on research with the Bitcoin Policy Institute for students, and all across the map. But well deserved as Rookie of the Year 2024 favorite. I have no doubt that she'll follow the trajectory of many other great Bitcoiners that are a few years older than she is.
Nice, very good. Lastly, here in the Warriors category, it is a 3-piece card, the Get-based team of 2024. They are the MVB, most valuable Bitcoiners of 2024. They've claimed that spot at Bitcoin Trading Card Series 3. And you got Julian and his team back there, Adam, and fantastic. I don't know the city that's behind them. Or
I was just gonna ask. Like,
I get
it looks like
some
Canada.
water.
I just made. Oh, it is Canada. That's because there's a Canadian 2024.
Oh yeah. Makes sense.
I don't know what city that is, but yeah, I mean, just zooming out, I think the Sailor card in orange parallel is going to look sick. I think.
Yes. Oh, the parallels.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember the parallels, right? And I mean, they're each going to have their own. I mean, that's what's so great about parallels is, again, the colors are something special. Like, I'm a big, right? This is now I'm forgetting the name of it. Color match? No. All right. Either way, what is it?
A scheme?
No, there's like a classic name for it. But anyways, when the card art is the same as the border and it's all one, it's just beautiful.
It is.
And I think, isn't there's a silver or gray parallel? Did I make that up?
Yep. There's a silver.
Yeah.
There's a purple. There's a gold and orange.
The silver with the Simply Bitcoin will probably look really good.
It's going to be neat how some of these really pop.
Yeah.
But yes.
Overall, great artwork.
And then the villains. So that's it. Thanks, dude. Thanks for joining me. S3 is right around the corner. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to your breaks. And
can't wait.
We'll get into it soon.
Pack rips coming soon, guys.
Pack rips.
We're so ready. All right.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.